everyone, welcome to the live review of Shuttle Art Pencils. Let's start by doing a quick check of the stream. Please let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I have my chat window popped out today so that I can actually read it close to me, and I have multiple screens open, so it's actually quite confusing. So please give me those thumbs up on audio and video, and we'll continue. In the meantime, roll that beautiful pencil footage. There's about a 5-second. Yes, there's going to be a few seconds delay. That's just YouTube streaming. All right, thumbs up, all good. Yes, both fine. Wonderful. Welcome everyone. If you're new to the show, I'm Lisa Mitrokhin. My lovely assistant today is Shelby. And the snoring you're hearing in the background is happening under the table, and that's Foxdale. He's going to be snoring all through the show. And I'm going to pop that window out as well. I have multiple screens. It's a little bit confusing. All right, we have a few people in the house already. We have 17 people watching already. Thank you guys so much. If you are watching this live on YouTube, pop into the live chat. That's where all the action is. Today's live stream, of course, comes with Q&A and live chat as well. I'm here to chat with you guys. If you have any questions about what you're seeing, about what I'm presenting, just talk to me in the live chat, and I'm here to respond. So who is with us today? Ego Brain, Mark, Goofy Mark that is, also known as Zombie Slayer Mark. Ellie, welcome. Jessica, Nightbot is here today. Thank you, Nightbot. Indigo Grumbles. Everyone, please thank Indigo. She is the reason that we're having this stream all together. She is the fan that sent me this wonderful box of Shuttle Art Pencils that I'm reviewing today. So thank you. Oh my God, there's a microphone in my face. Thank you so much, Indigo. I'm about to tell you everything that I think and feel about these pencils, so I'm not going to give anything away, but I did have an amazing time. The one thing that I will tell you before I get into all the juicy details is that I had an absolutely amazing time working with these pencils. And of course, the page that I'm working with is my brand new page of Cruella De Vil. I hope you guys saw the video, the movie already. Tech and I watched the movie a couple of nights ago, and we loved it. If you have not seen Disney's new Cruella yet, just see it. It's a joy of a movie. I will give you one spoiler and one spoiler only. No dogs get hurt in the making of this movie, and Cruella actually loves dogs. So if the only thing holding you back from watching it is dog cruelty, none of that is there. It's a delight of a film. The costumes are just fantastic. The acting is superb. It's an enjoyable ride. Just do it. Just do it. Who else is here? Is tech support here? Somebody said hi, tech support. Hello, tech support. Welcome. Tech support is in his own room upstairs. He's not running the show today. He is a guest. Oh, and an admin apparently. So tech support can also share links and stuff. And speaking of links, to get the page that I'm working on today, which I might as well roll that beautiful pencil footage. The page is available for free to patrons of all tiers. The link to Patreon is in the video description. And this page is also up on Etsy. So if you're not a patron and you just want to buy a single page, go to my Etsy shop, link in the video description, and go grab that page. It will be up forever and ever. So whenever you're watching the show, the page is probably still there. So more people showing up. Ellen, Katrin, Jessica, Huxley, Ego Brain. Welcome, everyone. Stacy. I saw that Cassandra was with us early. Cassandra, I know you haven't been feeling well. I'm sending you my love. I saw your message. I responded. I love you. Mark, again, Mark is everywhere. Mark is also one of the admins, so he'll be showing up here quite a bit. All right. Enough saying hello to people. More of you will be coming in. If I see you, I'll say hello. Admins, if there are any questions, please put them in all caps. All right. starting with Shuttle Art Pencils. This is the first time that I've used this brand. This is just the cover, by the way. The whole box is sitting right there, as you guys saw in that beautiful, sexy pencil intro that tech support helped me film. This box is bottomless. The pencils just kept coming out and out and out. There are 180 pencils in this box. It is unbelievable. So the first and ultimate test for me of how good a pencil box is how good the white pencil is. Most of you who know me know that I usually start my colorings with white charcoal. Not today. I am doing a product review. This is all about Shuttle Art Pencils, so let's see how well the white pencil does. I use white for a primer. I'm not going to lecture a lot during this live stream. This isn't a technical lesson on how to color. This is a product review. So I'll try to control myself and not go too much into theory. But the white that I use as a primer for areas of the drawing that will ultimately be the lightest, and usually for skin tones as well. Now, Cruella is super pale. Her skin is practically translucent. So I'm starting with white because her skin will ultimately be incredibly pale. And there's a little bit of glare on the page, so I don't know if you can tell that the white is coming across quite well. Not as strong as white charcoal, but hey, hardly anything is. Most pencils do not compare to the strength of white charcoal. Prismacolor is the closest one that, in my opinion, that comes the closest to white charcoal. Love my Prismacolor white. This isn't quite as strong as Prismacolor white, but it's sufficient. It's white enough for me to prime the page and be able to actually color over it. So on the white front, I would say it's not spectacular, but it's really good. It's really good. It's not just okay or satisfactory. It's really good. I'm already impressed with these pencils, starting with the white. Can I still chat? Of course, Indigo, you can chat. You are our star guest. You're the reason that we're having this show. I'm going to keep thanking you throughout the whole live stream for sending me this amazing box. And for the rest of you, if you guys want to send me stuff, if you enjoy this type of shows, if you want to send me something that you would like me to review live on the show as I'm doing these pencils right now, the address to send me stuff to is also in the video description. So just feel free to send me stuff with a note of what you would like to see me do with them. If you say nothing, I'm going to do the same kind of a show where I create a brand new page and I do a review of the pencils. Somebody posted a link. Thank you very much. Yes, very helpful. We have 25 people here already. Thank you, guys. If you're watching, please don't forget to give the show the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And post the link. I see tech support is still here. Hello, hello. Tech support is watching. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Did you see the intro, Tech, by the way? He helped me film it, but I don't think he actually ever got to see how it came out. It came out beautifully. 28 people watching. The 28 people watching, please do share the link in whatever social media group you hang out in so that we can get more people in here. We're not doing any kind of a giveaway today or anything, but it's nice to have you guys live in the chat so we can discuss this. Now, as I'm continuing to color the white part of the coloring, let's talk a little bit about the box and what's in it. The first thing that comes in the box is, well, aside from 180 pencils, which is extraordinary, the other thing that comes in the box is a color chart. I don't even know if this fits on the screen. Color chart, which I filled out, filling out this chart, I'm going to show it to you again because I'm very proud of this chart. This took me at least 3 times as long as it took me to color the Cruella page. I am never doing another color chart again. Those of you who know me know that I'm always saying things like, don't waste your time with color charts. It's a total gimmick. Just look at your pencils, pick the color that you want, do a little test scribble on your scribble page and move on. And I am still sticking to that, even more so than ever. The color chart is beautiful. It's a nice little gift for Shuttle Arts to put it in there. If you're into color charts, obviously this is going to look great on your wall in your collection of color charts, but it's a bit of a gimmick. I don't think there's an actual value to color charts, especially given that all the colors are already labeled and presented to you on the inside of the box. So yeah, it's cool. I'm never gonna do it again, unless maybe I get 1,000 new subscribers today. Then I'll do another color chart, but I'm never doing it again just for the heck of it. Tedious, yes, tedious indeed. I also decided to torture myself and not just color in every little square, but to color it in a gradient to see how the color actually smudges and how much of a gradient can I make. And it is a cool chart. I may, after all the suffering that went into the making of this chart, I may actually put it up on my wall. And the gradients came out beautifully. These colors are very pleasant to work with, very smooth. But unlike the box says, not break resistant. Most definitely not break resistant. So the title of the show is not just Shuttle Art Review, but how much should I spend on colored pencils? And that is a very popular topic, is very hot topic in the coloring community. The pencils that I usually use, Prismacolor pencils, Black Widow pencils, Faber-Castell. Somebody got me hooked on Faber-Castells now as well. These are all pricey pencils, and not everyone is willing to spend that much money on professional coloring supplies. So the question of the day is, how much is okay to spend on a box of colored pencils? To give you a comparison, a box of 150 Prismacolor pencils goes for about over $100, way over $100. And a box of 180 of this brand, Shuttle Art, is about $40 on Amazon. So obviously the price is very attractive. These are incredibly affordable pencils. But in my experience, something has to be compromised on in order to lower the price. Like Black Widow pencils cost what they cost, not because that's the price that Albert Jones came up with, but because that's what he needs to spend on them. He uses high quality wood. He uses high quality minerals in his actual lead making. He hires real artists to create his cover art. Like, he spends a lot of money on the pencils to actually make them high quality pencils, and that's what we're paying for. The fact that Shuttle Art can offer us 180 pencils with a color chart, and not one, not two, not three, but 4 free sharpeners, which also seemed a little bit gimmicky, tells me that they did need to cut down on quality somewhere. So the purpose of this test drive of this coloring was to find out where exactly did they cut corners. So the first thought is, of course, the pencils themselves, and boy was I surprised. These are actually indeed artist quality pencils. The colors themselves were an incredible surprise. They're so vibrant. They are so strong. I made this page of Cruella especially to test the intensity of the colors of Shuttle Art Pencils. Because if you've seen the movie or if you've seen the trailer for the movie, it is a visual spectacle. It's like watching a Cirque du Soleil show. It's all about color. I am going to test these pencils to the fullest on this 2-hour coloring. The red of the dress needs to be pure red. The black of the mask, in contrast to the white of her face, needs to be as deep as possible. The details in her hair, you will see what I do with the full body shot, the tiny Cruella on the right. Those of you who saw the photo of that on Instagram already, all of you freaked out because guess what? I'll be using green. Yes, the color that I hate the most. I had to do it. I had to test it on something that's not pleasant to me. And it had to be super vibrant. I wanted it to be neon. I wanted it to really pop. And they do. These pencils pass the color test 100%. The color that I'm starting with is a brownish color for me to establish my shadows on the skin tone. Now, skin tones are a little bit tricky. My go-to pencils for skin tones are always Black Widow pencils. They're wax pencils, they're very easy to blend, and I teach my Udemy course on skin tones with Black Widow pencils. So these Shuttle Art pencils have a pretty hard act to follow. It's difficult to live up to the quality and performance of Black Widow pencils. And they're doing all right. On the skin tones, oh, a new patron just joined. Thank you very much. Welcome. A new painted pup. If you guys wish to become a patron, there's a link in the video description. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. So with this brown, I am going over the white and it's doing pretty well. It's not as smooth as Black Widows or Prismacolors for blending, not yet, but I noticed that as I'm adding more layers, it does actually, you get in the swing of it. It feels a little bit different on paper than the pencils that I'm used to. Thank you, new patron. Yes, thank you so much. They feel a little bit different. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but I am definitely not disappointed in the quality of these pencils on paper. I think that they're an excellent brand for any colorist of any level, beginner, intermediate, or expert. Now, if you're an expert colorist, I would recommend going with a more expensive brand. If you are already doing professional coloring, if you're submitting for challenges and competitions, if you're putting your stuff up on the wall, if you're giving it away as gifts, if you're really taking your art to the next level, I would go with a more professional brand like Prismacolor or Black Widow. But for intermediate, beginner, and just a hobbyist, a colorist, especially if you love vibrant colors, this is an excellent brand of pencils. I will continue working with this brand even though I'm an expert colorist and artist, because for some things this is spot on. For instance, my Udemy course on crystals, how to draw and color crystals, I would absolutely do that course again using these pencils, and that's saying a lot. If I'm willing to teach using this brand, it's pretty good. Now, would I teach skin tones with this? I would not, because while it's doable, I need to go have a nice evening. Okay, Katrin, I hope you'll be able to watch the recording later on. Bye. I see you in Color My World's channel all the time. What are you guys talking about? Oh, Yasmin. Okay, I'm also trying to keep an eye on the chat at the same time. Okay, so skin tones. Would I teach a skin tone course on this? No, I would not. Not because these pencils don't perform well. I believe that, and as you will see once this coloring gets a little bit further along and once you see the final result as well, you'll see that you can achieve the same results with these pencils as you can with higher grade pencils like Black Widow and Prismacolors. However, it does take quite a bit more work. I noticed that I spend a lot more time on the skin tones with these pencils than I would with Black Widows. And it also took a little bit more care, a little bit more craft to make sure that everything blends as well as I want it to blend. So for someone who is a beginner or an intermediate level colorist, I think it would be a little bit too difficult to work with it, and you may get frustrated that certain effects that I'm demonstrating are not coming across as smoothly as mine are, and you may think that the fault is yours, not the pencils. So that's the only reason that I wouldn't teach a course on skin tones with these. But like I mentioned, I would absolutely teach a course on something bright and vibrant like crystals or gemstones or flowers, something like that. Absolutely, because the colors are just spectacular, and I can't wait to get to the colors. We're going to be on the skin tone still for a little bit. Let's see. Huxley says, I love Copics for skin tones. I am yet to try Copics. So if someone wants to send me that, please be my guest. The address is in the video description. I'll be happy to give them a shot and do a live review of them as well. All right. Now we're starting to move on to slightly more vibrant colors. Of course, I had to add some purple to the skin tone. A lot of drama around the eyes. There are a lot of beautiful purples in this. Okay, I was mocking the color chart in the beginning of the show, but I found a use for it. I can actually reference it now live on the show. So for purples, we have something crazy, like 20 different purple tones. You can see them right here. Amazing, very, very vibrant purple colors. Those of you who are just joining, I did my first color chart. Cursing and screaming, but I finished it. I stayed up all night working on this, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It came out looking beautifully, and it turned out to be a pretty nice reference for the show. But again, it's going to take a lot of motivation from you guys for me to do another color chart ever again. This was a borderline traumatic experience for me. Copics are on sale or were in cult pens. Okay, Copics, again, something I know nothing about. Oh, alcohol markers for skin tones. Interesting. I know that Mark, if Mark is still with us, Mark is a huge fan of markers. Marky Mark, I call him. And he's been doing some amazing stuff with mixed media, with pencils and markers on skin tones and everything else. And skin tones are tricky with markers. It's respect, dude. If you can do skin tones with markers, it's some amazing, amazing skill. Markers are absolutely, absolutely difficult to work with. I would love to do a show on markers as well. I have no markers in my collection, so that's another idea for those of you who like sending me stuff. Whatever brand of markers you would like me to test drive, I'm happy to do so. No experience with markers whatsoever. I haven't used markers since I was a kid. I use black markers a lot, like black and gray markers. Obviously, when Inktober comes rolling around again, you'll see me working with a black marker and black. Tiny different pens and ballpoint pens, of course, but color markers for coloring I haven't done in a while, so that should be an interesting experiment. All right, next level of testing of these pencils, black. Solid white and solid black are often hit or miss in various pencil sets. So the white turned out to be okay, good, not extraordinary, not like Prismacolor, definitely nothing to match with white charcoal, but a good solid white pencil that I was able to do a nice white primer with. I'm working on gray toned paper as usual, so the white worked well. Now for the black, I'm actually impressed. The black is very strong, on par with Prismacolor black, and that's saying a lot. Prismacolor black is my favorite black of all colored pencils, and this is just as good, just as strong. I was able to do all the black around the eyes, the eyelashes. I will be adding black to the mask later on. Super, super impressed with the black. And again, I'm layering as I usually would, same amount of layers. I'm not holding back, color after color. And so far, the pencils are holding up to the test. So that brings us back to the topic of the actual stream. How much should you spend on colored pencils? This is like a third or a fourth of the price of Prismacolors and Black Widows. So where did they cut corners? We see here the box promises us artist quality. Yes, check. Vibrant colors. Yes, check. Break resistant. Not so much. Not so much. And they really shouldn't have put that on the cover. Because now I'm expecting them to be break resistant. And, hello, new people rolling in. Welcome. Not break resistant at all. In fact, I've had more pencil breaks working with this brand than I've ever had working with anything else. And that's not to say that it's been breaking over and over again. I mean, you're seeing the recording right now. I didn't edit anything out. This is exactly as I colored at my regular speed. So far they haven't been breaks, but I think there were 3 or 4 breaks throughout the entire 2.5 hour coloring. And for me, that's quite a bit. I usually don't break my pencils at all, but I've had the tip snap several times. And the other thing that they definitely cut costs on is the wood of the pencil itself. And I'm glad that they did. Because it's the only way that you can really bring down the production price. And if you're given a choice to cut down on the cost of the pigment and the actual lead quality versus cutting down on the quality of the wood, I'll take the crappier wood. Like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. If you try to sharpen these pencils in a regular handheld sharpener, you'll just eat through the wood. It's a nightmare. Your pencil will be this short in no time, and you didn't even get any coloring out of it. So that's where the flaws are. It's in the cheapest possible imaginable wood that's out there. It's so crumbly. It catches on everything. You'll snap it. Like a lot of the pencils are actually misprinted. There's some imperfections in the wood itself that makes it difficult to sharpen. However, with an electric sharpener, I had no issues whatsoever. So if you have an electric sharpener, the crappy wood is not an issue. It's only when you try to sharpen it by hand that you'll be snagging all over the place, and you'll just curse your way out of ever using this brand again. But please don't, because the colors, the quality and the intensity of the colors are absolutely worth it. So if you're looking for a huge variety of different colors, of genuinely high quality colors that are very friendly to blend to create really professional artistic effects, but you're looking to spend a little bit less money, a lot less money. These are crazy affordable, you guys. Then these I would highly recommend. You know, if you can afford Black Widow pencils, I'm the biggest fan there is. I will always tell you, go and get Black Widow pencils. But also give these guys a shot because they're so affordable. I'm sure they come in smaller packages as well. This is the full 180 set. I think they're smaller sets as well. You know, if you can get a $15 or $20 set of pencils just to play with, that's an investment worth making. I did not find that I go through these pencils very quickly. Even though I had some sharpening problems, as soon as I switched to my electric sharpener, I didn't feel like the pencil was wasted at all. Electric sharpeners are key, says Stacy. That's what I found out as well. As soon as I got my electric sharpener, which lives happily over there behind me, which thank you, mom, my other mom, my mom-in-law, got me the electric sharpener. Best thing ever in my studio. It's life-changing. With the electric sharpener, I've had no issues whatsoever with these pencils. But this color chart, I was working on. I'm going to keep showing you the color chart because I'm more proud of the color chart than of the Cruella painting. The color chart, which took me 6 hours to do, I was doing at the kitchen counter, and I didn't bring my electric sharpener there. I just, because I only needed to color little squares, I just had the handheld sharpener, and that's how I found out that even a single twist of the handheld sharpener will eat through the wood. So if you are willing, under $40 in the US, yeah, that's incredibly affordable. And of course, the biggest question was, is it affordable or is it cheap? Because there's a difference. There's a lot of cheap Chinese knockoff pencils out there that are straight up crappy, that scratch your page, that don't give you enough pigment. But not these. These are not cheap pencils. These are properly artist quality pencils that are crazy affordable. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by that. And of course, I continued to work with them to complete this page, and I enjoyed it a great deal. It was quite an experience. So thank you, Indigo, again for sending these to me. It's definitely been added to my collection of things that I recommend to artists and colorists. Ooh, this color was awesome. This next color coming up is jade green, light jade green. I'm starting timidly with green just on the eyes because you guys know how much I hate green. I absolutely despise it. But which is why I intentionally go out of my way to try to use as many green pencils for these test drives as possible, because working outside of my comfort level is something that will really test these pencils. So just a tiny touch of green to start with on the eyes. The jade green is quite strong, and there are a lot of greens in here. In the intro, if you're watching the rerun of this, or if you joined the show later and you missed the intro, after the show, go back and watch the intro, watch the actual B-roll of the pencils and how many of them there are in the box and how beautifully organized they are by spectrum and colors. There is every single color imaginable in this box. And It even comes with, hopefully you guys can see it, a whole bunch. Starting from here, we have black, white, and then a whole bunch of metallic pencils of different colors, not just silver and gold, but a whole bunch of different metallics, which I haven't used on a coloring yet. I only used them on this chart, but I was surprisingly surprised. Who's being articulate today? Surprisingly surprised, pleasantly surprised by how cool the metallics are. Usually metallics, they're gimmicky. They don't actually do anything. I never use my metallic pencils. I have a whole bunch of Prismacolor metallics. Black Widow doesn't even bother with metallics because Albert knows better. But my Prismacolor silver and gold, they remain untouched. I have them from every single Prismacolor set. That my greens and my gold remain untouched for years and years and years. Because you can't actually achieve gold and silver effects with gold and silver pencils. That's not really what they're designed for. I teach entire lessons on how to create gold and silver effects. I have I have an entire course on how to color metals. I almost forgot about it. There's a whole Udemy course on how to color metals, and not once do we use a metallic pencil. It's all about the light and shadow with regular colored pencils. But these metallics, not that I would use them to actually create metallic effects, but I would absolutely use them on a coloring of something like a stained glass or a mosaic, or just something that needs, for instance, Art Deco and Art Nouveau style illustrations, where you have a fully realistic but a very stylized and outlined character on the front and a stained glass kind of a background on the back. I would use it for that, just for pure decoration, because they are quite impressive. Somebody put a link to the Shuttle Art Pencils. Thank you very much. The link to that is also in the video description, and I also linked it into my Amazon influencer shop. So if you want to see my review of different products, the link to my Amazon shop is in the video description. Check it out. I only put supplies there that I actually approve as an influencer, as an artist, and these pencils made it into my shop. So that's saying a lot. Again, are these the best quality pencils on the planet? No, they're not. And the price reflects that. But are they professional grade artist pencils? Absolutely. They put all the quality and all the value into the pigment and into the lead of the pencils. And that was a very wise decision and a very respectful decision. And I thank Shuttle Art Company for doing so. The reds. Now, I'm going to go crazy with the reds on this one because, of course, it's Cruella. Aside from black and white, red is the single most defining color of this character. So reds and purples, there will be a lot. And starting with the undertone for this mask, even though the mask will ultimately be black, I am starting with this bright purple undertone just to give it a little bit more body, a little bit more volume. And I did say that I wouldn't lecture a lot during this stream, but it's really hard. I always snap back into instructor mode. So do forgive me for that. Let me just see what's happening in the chat here. Let's try to catch up. Because once again, I'm back to lecturing and I'm not actually keeping up with the chat, even though I have it on 3 windows now so that I can't possibly miss it. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Thank you for putting up all the links. I got my metallic shadow with my Prisma Silver. I blended purple into it. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. Oh, Foxtail got overheated here. At least he stopped snoring. All right. Okay. Looks like there are no questions for me. People are just chatting about pencils. If you do have questions, you guys, about anything that you're seeing on the screen or anything about the pencils at all, please feel free to ask me live in the chat. And if you're watching a rerun of this, if you missed the live show, thank you kindly for still tuning in and for watching. And please don't forget to give the video the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Lisa, how are they with the Q-tips? Asks Huxley. Surprisingly good. I used the Q-tip on the very first layer with the white, which wasn't that impressive. I was like, okay, whatever. The white, I pretty much colored it solidly anyway, so there wasn't much left for the blending. But as I'm adding more layers, with every new layer of color, I'm using Q-tips here and there for that nice sfumato look, for that little smudgy, smoky look, and it's great. It's great. It blends them well. I wouldn't use them for like straight up blending, but I never recommend that for any brand of pencils. I recommend that you create the blending effect with the pencils, that you learn how to blend your colors, that you learn how to create amazing gradients, and only for a touch up, the afterthought, you would bring in the Q-tip to smudge things a little bit. You will see me use more and more Q-tips throughout the show, and yeah, they work really well with these pencils. They are easy to blend. Yeah, I noticed that as well. They're quite easy to blend. They're not scratchy. Like some brand pencils that I've had in the past are quite hard. Like the lead itself is just too hard to work with for anything other than just a solid coloring in. But not here. I'm a huge fan of layers. You guys know that. Everything's about layers with me. So that was one of the main tests for these pencils, is to see how they hold up to the layers. It's like, certainly you can come up with a pencil that's really vibrant, that has amazing colors. But if it doesn't hold up to 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 layers, and the colors start to get weird, and the page starts to distort, the actual texture of the coloring starts to get distorted or flaky or scrapey, then it's no good. You really want an unlimited number of layers. And granted, that takes some practice. I always preach a lighter hand. You don't need to grind your pigment in. And with these pencils, they make it easy. The colors are so strong. You really don't need to use any pressure at all. Just trust your hand, trust your coloring, work gently, barely glide on the surface of the page. Oh, we have over 30 people watching. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad you could make it live. Let me know also, you guys, if this time works for you. This is the time, usually on a Thursday afternoon around 2 o'clock is when I tend to do these reviews. And I try to find a time that's best for everyone, so I can get my US audience and my UK audience, my Europe audience, and possibly my Australian audience at the same time, which is really tricky. So far, this is the time slot that I've come up with. So let me know what you think of it, if it works for everyone, because there's still more of these shows coming, a lot more of these shows coming. You guys have been sending me stuff. Thank you kindly. That I will be reviewing in the weeks to come, with new pages, with new art, and of course with more of these live shows. Cassandra, 7 a.m. for you. You're still with us, Cassandra. You're up early. I'm so glad to see you here. I like this time. Awesome. It's good when beginning coloring, and always. Okay. I like this time. I watch this time while I cook. Oh, okay, cool. I used to do that back in Chile, when we lived in Chile. There was a YouTuber that I followed at the time, and she was doing coloring shows always during the time that I would prepare dinner. So I would just set up my phone on the kitchen counter. I would have my earpiece in, and I would just listen. I wasn't able to participate in the live chat, but I would listen and I would watch while cooking. It was good times. You lived in Chile. How exotic. Yes, tech support. I lived in Chile. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Blendability, I should have added. Blendability. Oh, how well they blend. Yes, they blend very, very well. Oh, everyone's laughing at Tech's joke. All right, black over purple on the mask. The mask was tricky for me because, again, trying not to lecture, but the mask was tricky because in the movie she has this black mask, and her hair is also half black. On the right, she has solid black hair. On the left, she has solid white hair. So the black mask over the black part of her hair is genuinely tricky. Oh, Iselina is here. Hello. Iselina, did you like that picture of tech support riding the giant spider? That was hilarious. Iselina and tech support's love of spiders, they go way back. So on something like this, I'll give you a quick tip, not lecturing at all. But I know that you guys are interested in technique. Probably everyone watching here today is interested in technique. So when you have a color clash like that, when you have an object of the same color overlaying an object of an identical color, like here I have a black mask over black hair. One of the ways to deal with it is to give a little bit of an underlying color that pops. So in this case, I did the primer for the mask in purple, and I'm adding black over the purple so that most of the center of the mask is solid black, but then where it trails off, where the feathers trail off, I'm going to leave a little bit of that purple undertone, and that way you'll be able to still see the outline of the mask and the general shape of the mask, and it won't get lost in the black hair on the side. Yes, please lecture us. Oh, I Celine almost almost lost my lunch laughing over the tech support picture. We go to this park where we take the pups to the park, or we go one wheeling. It's a beautiful park, Craig's Ranch Park, right? We have a different name for it. We have our own names for everything, but Craig Ranch Park here in Nevada. It's a beautiful park, and they have all these playgrounds for kids with these installations and things they can climb and play with. And there's a giant lizard, and there's a giant snake, a giant bunny, and of course a giant spider. So needless to say, when we saw the spider, we had to have a photo shoot with it. And there's a pretty epic picture of tech support riding the giant spider. I'll post it in the community. Hey everyone, Rain's here. Welcome. Craig Ranch Regional Park. That's it. I got a spider in my bathroom sink. Release it. Don't kill the spider. Spiders are good. We have a rule of never killing spiders. I mean, unless it's like an apocalyptic level event of being overrun by spiders, then I'm sure I'll do something. But a single roaming spider, will relocate. When is the next design coming, Tech? That's right, you guys. Tech Support is now officially an artist. The infamous Pizza Fairy by Tech Support is now available on my merch. You can go to the shop right now and buy a t-shirt with the Pizza Fairy, or a tank top, or a hoodie, or a mug. I'm getting the mug. He doesn't know this yet, but I think tomorrow or the day after, we're getting a Tech Support Pizza Fairy mug delivered to our house. So yeah, Pizza Fairy, and also not the Happy Thanksgiving family. I haven't done that one yet, but the mysterious parent creatures that were crossed out that we couldn't figure out what they were. That's available on t-shirts now as well. Another Tech Support classic. But we need to get Tech Support drawing some more. I think we need more Tech Support originals because I'm running out. I catch spiders and take them outside to release. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you kindly on behalf of spiders everywhere. We do the same. We need Space Force merch. Yes, we do need Space Force merch. I'm on it. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Water bottle too. Yeah, water bottles as well. Mugs, water bottles, hats, pillows. You can get a pillow with Pizza Fairy. Aprons, I think a dog bandana. There's a bunch of fun stuff. He's like John Lennon. Yes, Tech Support's creative skills are on par with John Lennon's drawing of Yoko Ono. Australian spiders are not a good idea, Cassandra says. Yes, that's true. You guys have recluses, right? Like really poisonous recluses like we had down in Chile. And I think you guys have tarantulas. Tarantulas are very friendly. They're very friendly spiders. They don't like to be picked up, but they allow you to touch them. Most of the time, they just like to be... Tech Support is putting on his best John Lennon face. We need to get him to sing. We need to get him to come down here into my room where there's a mic and get him to sing something by John Lennon. Like Imagine. That's a good song to sing. All right. Back to my coloring. If there are new people joining, this is a live review of Shuttle Art Pencils, which was sent to me by one of the fans, Indigo Grumbles, who's in the chat right here. And the topic of the stream is, of course, how much money should you spend on colored pencils of professional grade is implied in that title. Obviously, you should only work with professional level, professional quality tools if you want to create professional results. So is the price of the pencils a reflection on their quality? Absolutely. The price is a reflection on quality no matter what you're talking about, and especially with pencils. So earlier on the show, I was talking about where could they possibly have cut down on the cost, and I was more than pleasantly surprised to find out that they did not cut down on the quality of the pigment and the lead. The colors themselves are absolutely spectacular and worth buying. Where the costs were cut are in the quality of the wood. If you do sharpen these pencils, you'll find that they're a bit crumbly and the wood is, it's kind of crappy. But if you have an electric sharpener, you can get by absolutely without it. And if you need to save some money on your art supplies, this is definitely the way to go. Highly recommend them. Indigo says brown recluse. Yeah, brown recluse is a nasty spiders. Do not pick those up. No. Actually, like, brown recluses are okay to kill. I am absolutely against killing spiders, but if you have a brown recluse, don't become friends with it. Kill it. Somebody's going to eat dinner. I will be eating dinner and watching. Okay, enjoy your dinner. What are you having? Let us know. Yes, you're right. It's just the poisonous ones. I don't touch those. No. No touching of the recluses. Oh my God, we have 40 people in this stream. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see all of you here. And are you 40 people giving me the thumbs up on the show? Oh, 23 of you did. That's very cool. Let's see more of those thumbs up go up. They help me out a lot. Another way to support this channel is, of course, to shop in the shop. The link is in the video description. Go get some merch. Go get some t-shirts with my art on it and with tech support's art on it, because now the Pizza Fairy is out there. Lisa, tell them about when we were cleaning out Josh's cabana. Oh my God. Back when we lived in Chile, we had a Chilean equivalent of the brown recluse spider. I don't even remember what it's called. Oh, Araña Rincón, the corner spider. The infamous Chilean corner spider, which is a nasty spider. He won't kill you, but you'll lose a finger or two if you get a bite. It gets all necrotic and black and you need to go to the hospital. Like, they can kill children. They're bad spiders. They're a type of a recluse. So they're hidden in cardboards and in basements and dark, spooky places, and they don't like to be disturbed. And if you disturb them, they bite. The corner spider, that's right. So in Chile, actually, everyone has a habit, including us. I still have this habit. It's hard to break, of shaking out your clothes. If you leave your pants on the floor at night, you shake them out before you put them on, because you do not want to find a brown recluse, a corner spider in your pants. That would be bad. But we were helping one of our friends there clean out his workroom and turn it into a guest room. So it's kind of like a guest house. So it wasn't really cleaned very well ever. It's just a workroom. It's like a junk room. And we came over and we helped him move all the furniture and move some other stuff in there. And there were a bunch of spiders on the walls just sitting there, like regular black spiders just chilling on the walls, and I was moving them by hand. I was just picking them up from the wall and like moving them and taking them outside, until tech support looked it up on his phone, and they were the corner spider. They were all recluses, and he's like, stop touching those with your bare hands. It was a miracle that I didn't get bit. So I put on some gloves and started taking a little bit more care. I want a black widow spider as a pet, says Mark. Those are cool. Hey, tech support, didn't you have black widow spiders as pets, like, before we met? That's scary, Lisa. Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really notice until afterwards and you tell the story. Like, now I'm all like, I can't believe I was just moving them with my bare hands. It's just such a bad idea. So don't be like me, kids. Unless you know what kind of a spider it is, don't just go making out with it. Don't lick spiders is the moral of this story. Ooh, on to red. Red was the ultimate test of color saturation on this project for me, which is why I created the Cruella De Vil page, because she's wearing that stunning red dress and she has this blood red lipstick on, and red is just such a prominent color in the movie that obviously I had to show it off with her wearing the red dress. So red had to stand the test of saturation, and it absolutely did. The exact colors that I'm using are popping up on the screen, so you guys can play this back later and follow along. This is at regular speed, so if you want to follow along with me and color it exactly the same way as I'm coloring, please go for it. All the colors are popping up on the screen. You can literally follow my steps and create the same effect. I am very, very pleased with these colors. They are amazing. Tech support says he did have a black widow spider for a while. Kept a widow as a pet. Used to feed it bugs and then watch it do its thing. That's really cool. Ooh, beautiful color. Yes, yes. Incredible, incredible red. As you can see on my color chart, which I'll be pimping this entire show, lots of reds and pinks and oranges in this collection. And all very vibrant. I did my color chart with a gradient for every single box to see how nicely they blend, how easily they blend, and no Q-tips used on that. That's just the pencil blending. So again, all the money went into the quality of the lead in these pencils. They did not cut down on quality at all, which is amazing. Again, thank you, Shuttle Art, for doing that. If you're gonna cut costs on anything, cut it on the wood, cut it on the box. The thing that I would, if Shuttle Art were watching, and if I were to give them my professional advice, the 4 sharpeners is overkill. Like, who really needs 4 sharpeners? I get it. You had them on the bottom of the box and they kind of sat there as little feet for the bottom layer to sit on. So that's probably why you put in 4. But it looks desperate. It looks like you're trying to make up for something, and you don't need to. The quality of the pencil lead is amazing. Anyone who's an artist, professional or a beginner, they will feel the quality of these pencils. You don't need this hand wavy, look, I'm giving you a bunch of free stuff to make up for anything, because the pencil quality speaks for itself. So for me, seeing extra gifts like this given actually made me doubt this box of pencils. If I just saw it on Amazon and I saw all the gimmicky stuff that goes into it, I would not buy this box. I would be thrown off by the price and all the extra stuff that went into it, and I would not even give these pencils a chance. Thankfully, someone sent me this box as a gift, and I gave it a test drive and fell in love with them. But without somebody giving it to me, I would not have given it a chance. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. If Shuttle Arts ever watches this show, hopefully they'll take a lesson from there. Q-tips. Yes, Iselina, Q-tips work really well with these pencils. Great blending with the Q-tips on these. Iselina's face. I use a lot of spray to keep them out. Are you talking about bug spray? We're talking about bugs and spiders at the same time as we're talking about pencils, so it gets a little bit confusing in the chat here. So that they can learn what not to do. Marketing needs to watch this. Yes, Shuttle Arts marketing needs to watch this. So other than that, the presentation is great. The box is beautiful. Although I seriously doubt that this was actually drawn with Shuttle Art pencils. If it was, it's highly stylized with this little sketch mark finish. Anyone who's an artist knows that this is a fake picture. So maybe an original art on the cover would do better. And again, like, you don't need to fake it, Shuttle Art. The quality of the pencils is great. You know, you can take the coloring of Cruella and put it on the cover, and it's gonna sell more copies than this copy paste something that you found on Google Images. Like, it's pretty, but I guarantee you it's not actually done with these pencils. If they put up real art on the cover, it would be more impressive. And the rest of the presentation here, I kind of like that the word colored pencils, or what does it say? Yeah, colored pencils is bigger than the brand name, Shuttle Arts. They didn't need to advertise the name. They didn't need to scream it. It's not hidden, it's not timid, but it's subtle and it's humble. Like they are offering colored pencils. It's obvious. They say it on the cover. We're offering colored pencils. We are Shuttle Art. That's neat. I like it. That part is cool. Artist quality, yes. Vibrant colors, yes. I wouldn't advertise that they're break resistant. Not at all. Because now you're setting the expectation. If it didn't say that on the box, I wouldn't even complain about them breaking on the show. I wouldn't even mention it. But the fact that the box insists that they're break resistant, like, you really need to live up to that. And you don't. They do break. Not quite easily, but they do break. Just in regular coloring. I use very little pressure when I color. That's my thing. Anyone who's taken a course with me, anyone who's watched any one of my YouTube videos knows that my whole thing about coloring is using lots of layers and hardly any pressure. So for me to break a pencil tip, that's not break resistant. So that's another thing for marketing when they watch this show eventually, which they might. Who knows? I mean, that's how I met Albert Jones. I put out a YouTube video just coloring with his pencils, and he happened to watch it and reached out to me. And maybe Shuttle Arts will as well. Oh, let's see. I would have never bothered trying these either. I thought they were too cheap. That's very interesting. That's what Barbara says. I agree. Same here. I would see, if I saw these on Amazon, I would just assume that they're too cheap, therefore they're crappy. So, yeah. Like, how cheap do you have to make it before you actually scare clients away rather than attract them? I think these pencils deserve to be a little bit higher graded than they are, because they are actually really good quality pencils disguised as crappy pencils. It's very unusual and very confusing. It's like a high quality product that's disguised as a cheap crappy product. I think Shuttle Arts were my very first pencils. All right. They were a gift from my son, and they were in a different package. They are good. Yes, they do come in several different packages. I think I have 4 of them in my influencer shop, covered by the same review. Does anyone have the 180 Brutfener? I suspect they're the same, just a private label. Never heard of them. Please send me a link or a box or something. I'd love to know more about them. Someone else is joining us. Welcome, new people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a live review of Shuttle Art Pencils. So if you scroll back in the chat, or play the video back later after YouTube finishes the stream and then buffers it for 300 hours. Not bitter at all. Yes, I do. I am swatching them right now. Yes, I have them. Okay, people know about this other brand. I have never heard of them. Please also make a post about the brands that we're discussing in the show in the private community. If you belong to my private community, Tom, please make a post right now, so that I don't have to scroll through the live chat after the show, that I can go to Tom and just see what we were talking about and then look it up and put it in my list of stuff to test. If you're not a member of the community, you are missing out, my friend. Go into the video description, hit the link, join the community. It's free to join. I just need to approve you. And that's it. No strings attached. It's a great place to be. We're a family. We share our experiences. We grow together. I give a lot of gift pages on my free page, on my community page. It's just a cool place to be, a cool place to meet other colorists and creators. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the color that's got everyone talking for this past week. I was so astonished to see everyone's comments on my finished coloring of this. Everyone is synchronized, kept posting, "Oh my God, Lisa's using green. The world has come to an end. Green, no way, you're using green." I love it. I love that you guys know me so well. Like, no one cared about the page or the pencils I used or the red. No comments on that whatsoever. Like, you guys know that I can make good art and that I'm going to have new pages for you. What everyone commented on was the fact that I used the color that I hate the most. It made me so happy to see all of those responses of you guys So cool. It's so cool. Ah, yes, green. I had to do it. I had to do it. I think it's the bravery that comes from one wheeling. You know, every day do something outside of your comfort zone, push yourself a little bit further. Like, bravery comes in all sizes and in all colors, apparently. So green is my nemesis, and I decided to do the entire full body shot in this green glow. For those of you who saw the movie Cruella, this is the part where she does like a music show, a rock show outside of the main. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up anything about the story. She does a show and it's like a rock show, and she's up on stage and there are all these neon lights, and there are a few shots in the movie where the lights turn from red to green, and she's all lit up by these green lights, and that's the snapshot that I took to create this coloring, and also the lights that I used for my color inspiration. So it's all gonna be in a green light. It was scary. It was scary. My entire first layer of color on this figure is a solid green. And I think this is light jade green, which I'm not going to say that I like, because I can't say that. I can't be recorded saying that I like anything green. That's just not right. But, you know, out of all the hideous shades of this hideous color green, this light jade green was the least hideous. How's that? It was so little hideous that I almost nearly possibly maybe enjoyed coloring with it. How did I do? How was my review of green? And if you're just joining, you guys, I'm being sarcastic. The green is gorgeous. The color is amazing. The saturation is great. I have strong feelings about the color green, but I have absolutely no complaints against the way this color works on the page and all the amazing effects that I'm about to achieve with it on this character, on Cruella, all lit up in green as a rock star on stage. I am so pleased with this. Nightbot, thank you for reminding everyone to hit that like button, because, you know, that's what keeps the YouTube stream running. You notice how we've had no interruptions, no breaks in sound, no glitches, no delays. The thumbs up, that's what keeps the show going. It is known. That's how it works. So keep hitting that thumbs up button. Not too many times, not so that it disappears. But all the new people, each new person should hit it at least once. You can hit it 3 times or 5 times or 7 times. Just, you know, keep hitting the thumbs up button. Yellow and green were my mom's favorite colors. I love green. Oh, yellow and green is actually my dad's favorite color combination. He really likes yellow and green. Stick to your guns. Don't sell out, Lisa. I think this is all in my reference to how I feel about green. And it's funny because my favorite color is blue. I am very, very passionate about the color blue. I love it. I love everything about it. If I could paint everything blue, I would. And someone pointed out to me the other day that blue and green are right next to each other on the color spectrum. How can I have these polar opposite feelings about green and blue? And I have no answer for you. I have no idea. They are indeed close on the color spectrum, but I genuinely hate green and I genuinely love blue, and I love the rest of the colors equally. I was shocked, says Indigo, that you used green. So many people were. I'm glad that I was able to shock and surprise you guys. But don't get used to it. Not every coloring is going to have this giant splash of green on it. Do not get excited. The next one, I think, I'm doing another live review of a box of Castle Art pencils that somebody sent me. Another beautiful box, very promising. Know nothing about Castle Arts, never tried them, so I can't tell you anything about them yet. But I was thinking of doing a steampunk picture with them, with lots of detail, lots of copper kind of effects, and blue this time, like turquoise blue for the machinery, the glowing machinery, and deep blue. and also like bottle glass blue, mixed with yellow and copper and gold and a whole bunch of other different metallic effects without actually using metallic pencils. So that's the idea. That's what I thought of when I saw the box of Castle Art pencils. I thought it would be fun to do a steampunk picture. So if you guys think it's a good idea, let me know now in the chat. Or if you think it's a terrible idea and you would rather see something else, let me know as well. I am here for you guys to show you what you want to see. So, of course, if no one is into steampunk, we're not going to do it. We're going to do something else. We can do another movie character or something. Sounds great. Green, purple, blues, and love browns. Yeah, I love my browns as well, especially for skin tones. Sounds yummy. Yes, steampunk sounds good. Great idea. Sounds great and fun. Okay, so far no complaints about my steampunk idea. I'm loving it. Steampunk, yay! Mommy wears war paint, our favorite name. Welcome to the show. Shades of purple. I love purple. Indigo is my favorite. I also love purple. Oh, and that comment came from Indigo Grumbles. Of course, Indigo. I should have figured. Mark says yes for steampunk. All right, we're getting a lot of thumbs up for steampunk. Wonderful. I'll get on it. So probably not this month, but next month we'll do that. We'll do that page and review. Yes, steampunks, and your metal course is my next on Udemy. Thank you kindly. The metal course seems to be everyone's favorite. It has the highest rating and the most number of students. I'm very pleased to see it. If you guys want to take a full course from me on how to draw or color, there are links to all of my Udemy courses in the video description. And the next one that I'm working on right now is something that you guys asked for, and that is the Undead skin tones. I'm about a third of the way done with it already. I have more recording to do next week, and then I should be able to publish it this month. Undead skin tones is what you guys asked for. It may, don't hold me to this, but it may come in 2 parts. Undead skin tones 1 and Undead skin tones 2. But no promises yet. I'm only working on part 1 so far. The steampunk from the 4 realms. Oh, yeah. There's a whole chapter of steampunk pages in the 4 realms. That's a good idea. I was going to use the steampunk page from my Etsy shop with the girl that's super detailed. She has little bat wings, and she has like this little opening in her belly with like a mechanical ballerina recessed in her belly. I was going to do that one. It's a super detailed page, but I can take one out of the 4 realms as well. The 4 realms, for those of you who don't know, is my very first published book. It holds a very special part in my heart. It's very near and dear to me. The 4 realms. The links to all my books are in the video description as well. You can just Google for my books and you'll find them as well. But yes, the 4 Realms is a book based on a deck of playing cards, and it's in 4 chapters, with each chapter being a different suit of cards, and each one is also themed. So I think spades are like gothic themed, and clubs are steampunk themed. I don't remember anymore. It's been a few years, but there's an entire chapter on steampunk with gears and machinery and all sorts of cool characters. And actually, after publishing that book, I swore that I would never draw steampunk again, because drawing gears is tedious. I love doing the organic characters much better. So it took me literally 2 years to get over my fear of drawing steampunk images. And I am happy to report that I did get over that fear, and I got back on my horse and back into drawing steampunk images, like the Etsy shop coloring page of the girl with the wings. And actually, there's a little bit of a spoiler for you guys. For this Halloween, every Halloween I do a new set of coloring pages for Halloween, obviously. And this year, it's all going to be steampunk. Yeah, it's going to be classic horror film characters done in steampunk. And Mark knows a little bit about this as well. It was, in fact, inspired by him and his idea for this year's Halloween characters. So he has a little bit of a sneak peek into what I'm working on, but no one else knows anything. So this is the first time that I'm announcing it. Horror punk. Yeah, good name for it. Horror punk. for this year's Halloween. And of course, I'll be doing Inktober this year. It's gonna be epic. There's some other things that we have planned for this fall. And oh, cool. Horror punk sounds great. Oh, Ellen, I didn't even realize the comments from Ellen. Welcome to the show, Ellen. Great to see you. Okay, what is happening here on the screen? The rest of the show is going to be in green, so I'm holding my breath. It was horrific enough to do it in real life. Now I have to watch it again. You know how much I love green. Love the gothic look. Yeah, this Halloween is going to be very gothic and steampunk at the same time. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be very detailed. Prepare for a lot of tiny details with little background wallpapers and all the embroidery on the clothes, and of course gears everywhere, and possibly crystals. Zombies. There will be zombies, but they have to be steampunk zombies. Steampunk zombies. Somebody beat me to it. Yes, steampunk zombies. Very fashionable. Very fashionable. Someone described steampunk as when goths discovered the color brown. I really like that. That should be on the t-shirt. Creepy steampunk characters. More. I am so excited about your Inktober. Incandescence is the greatest coloring book ever, says Ego Brain. Thank you kindly. Incandescence is my latest published book, and actually the only book that I own right now. Everything else is being shipped here from Chile. Hold on a second, I'll grab it. Here it is, Incandescence, my pride and joy. This is my latest published book, and it is my collection of all the Inktober art that I did last year. It's kind of hard to do a flip through vertically. And I should just do an actual flip through and put it up on YouTube. This is the book that I am most proud of. This is so near and dear to my heart. So much blood, sweat, and tears went into the making of this book. This is me in a book. It's as personal as it gets. And this year I'll be doing it again. I'll be doing another full run of Inktober, all 31 images, and then afterwards I will recreate all these images into digital colorable images and publish them as a book. Oh, somebody posted a link to Incandescence on Amazon. Thank you kindly. Yes, this book is available on Amazon and also as a PDF download in my shop. Iselina says, yes, I love my Incandescence. Thank you, guys. Oh, and the feedback that I got on this book, it was so heartwarming. I can't thank you guys enough. It's also my best-selling book. I have not had a book sell as well as this ever. So I'm also very proud of how it did as a coloring book. I took a chance on it. It's very different from my regular coloring book material, very different style, because it's based on my actual free hand drawings with pen and ink that I had to recreate and restylize for your coloring pleasure. And it was very difficult. It was technically very difficult. I spent so much time actually working on this book. You would think that, by the end of October, you just have 31 images and you just bind them together and publish them. But no, the work that I had to do to remaster them for print took longer than Inktober itself. So I'm kind of thinking of doing Inktober digitally this time to begin with. But we'll see. The idea behind Inktober is that you do it with actual pen and ink, get your hands dirty, loosen up, relax, and just do this free flow drawing every day. That's the idea behind it. But now digital ink is also allowed. So I'll see. I don't know what this year's theme is. We don't get to know the topic until a month before it starts. I need to buy some of your books. I am sure it's great. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you kindly. Whichever one you buy, let me know, and let me know what you think of it. I'm very curious to see. I have all the flip throughs of my books on my website as well. So if you want to take a look inside before you buy anything, that's up on my website in the flip through section. All of them, which the latest ones I think are only links to videos. I think I stopped doing picture flip throughs at some point on my website, but every single book does have a flip through somewhere online. You just have to search for it. Oh, Ego Brain says, I keep mine on my coffee table for people to be able to look at it. Everyone has loved it. Thank you so much. It was indeed designed as a coffee table book. Yeah, it even, like, I have a little blurb in the beginning where I talk about what this book is designed for. And I don't even call it a coloring book. I call it an art book that you can color. And every page comes in 2 versions: the original photo of the original drawing, the way that I created it, and then my refurbished colorable version of it that's digitalized for you to actually interact with. But it is more of an art book than a coloring book. It's very dark, both in the amount of ink that's in it and also in all the imagery. It's deep. I mean, it was inspired by 2020. It's pretty dark. Become a patron. Thank you for posting all the links. I will have them on my wish list on Amazon. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, brown goths. Yes. Steampunk is when goths discovered the color brown. It just kills me. It's so accurate. It's wonderful. Oh my God, we have more likes than we have people watching. That's a first. Thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up. And of course, as you know, that's what keeps the stream going. What are you guys talking about? Now I'm lost between goths, spiders, my hatred of green, and my books on Amazon. I like visual storytelling. Yeah, that's exactly what this book is. It tells a story. And it's there's a video, I'll post it in my community because there are a lot of new members in the community who I think I have not seen. I have so many YouTube videos now. There's no way that I can expect you to have seen all of them. It would just take forever. Although some of you do binge watch my channel, which I thank you for kindly. But there's a video that I did where actually tech support interviews me on incandescence, what it was inspired by, how I created the art, the process of making it, and everything. So it's a pretty emotional video, and it shows a little bit of what's inside the book. And speak of the devil, we have tech support here with us. Are you here to sing Imagine?
No.
Please take the mic. Here you go.
I don't know the words.
Oh, come on.
Imagine all the colors, especially green.
Seriously?
Living in harmony. I totally don't know the lyrics to the song.
Okay.
I know I'm not even on key.
Oh, okay. He's not allowed to sing anymore. He's singing about green.
I hope the day will come when the colors can be as one. Green.
Out of my room. They love it. What brings you life to the show?
Oh, I don't know. You just thought I'd poke my head in here.
Oh, wonderful. People are saying hello to you. We were just talking about...
Where's the camera? Oh, there's the camera.
The camera's over there.
Hello.
I figured out why YouTubers do this before they... to end their videos.
Why?
Well, I discovered it in my live lessons because if you don't end it like this, you end up ending it, what button do I need to press to end this? And that's just not as glamorous. But if you put your hand over the camera, you can look retarded looking for your buttons. Which is, I'm sure, what happens to every single YouTuber.
That's totally why they do it.
That's totally why Peter McKinnon does it. You know it.
He throws his hat over it.
And then he can look retarded looking for his buttons. Because, he doesn't edit his videos
Peter
at all.
McKinnon never looks retarded.
That is true. Peter McKinnon
never
always looks amazing. Oh, my God. My daughter just asked, what's the man doing?
It's a kid's show. I'm not doing anything. It's a family show, not a kid's show.
It's a family show.
It's
a family show. This is tech support.
Hello.
Tech support is my lovely assistant, and he is the one that makes the internet work.
That's right.
Without tech support, we would not have this show.
I make the internets.
Hello, everyone. Hi, new watchers of the show. Welcome.
Hi, Ghislaine.
Yes, he makes the internets, and sometimes he breaks them. But that's fun, too, because then he gets to fix them.
You got to break it to make it better.
That's right.
Or just to make it at all. Notice I've not been involved in this stream, and this stream has been running fine.
No, this stream has been running fine because they finally figured out that streams run on thumbs up.
Woohoo!
The more thumbs up we get, the smoother the stream runs. And we have 32 thumbs up, which is awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. And thank you for the internet's tech.
You're welcome.
Oh, we have to get fake spiders and put them in the doorway. That's a great idea, Iselina. Halloween is coming. You know, I'm going to spider up the whole house. We can spider web his door and then like call him out and then he'll walk through it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with plastic wrap for your door, though.
No! Okay, obviously I had enough of green here, so I just straight up switched back to red.
Your room is really warm. Do you want to open your door so you get some air?
Yeah,
Okay.
my room got dog breath.
Yeah, it totally did. It's like 1,000 degrees in here.
I like it. I really like
everyone.
being warm. Bye, tech support. But we're not ending the show yet. Don't go. Tech support is just leaving and getting some fresh air in here because with 2 dogs in here, it got really breathy and warm. And Foxtail knows it too. He, Foxtail and Shelby in spider costumes, someone says. That is actually doable now. We went to the pet store the other day and we saw all sorts of really cool costumes for dog. Especially Foxtail because he is big and black and fat and bulky and moves funny. If we put him in a spider costume, it's going to be hilarious. How are Mama and Papa Tech? They are doing great. They live only 5 minutes away from us, and we're actually having them over tomorrow for pizza and a Back to the Future marathon at our house. So we'll take some pictures, maybe a little video, and post it in the community. And I'm thinking of having them live on the show one of these days, so you guys can meet them because they're incredible, wonderful people. And I would love for you guys to meet them in real life. I know you don't like green, but that green dress is really pretty. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am actually really happy with how this coloring came out. I have no complaints against it whatsoever. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really impressed with this brand of pencil. This is Shuttle Art Pencils that I'm working with. And yeah, the green, despite my very strong feelings about the color, the green came out beautifully. Oh, there's a dog here. Come here, honey. Say hello. Come here. They love seeing you. Oh, and look. Oh, here's my puppy. This is Shelby. Hi, honey. Oh. Okay, go to your place, honey. Go to your place. I can't come out and play now. She wants me to come with her and play. Oh, looks like she can't come to her place because it was just stolen by Foxtail.
Okay, she found a better place. One that doesn't have a foxtail.
Can they see him? There he is. There he is, Foxtail, the dog. Love the dress. Thank you. Oh, everyone's sending love and kisses to Shelby and Foxtail. Thank you guys so much. They're great show dogs. They're always behind me on the screen. All right. Love the video of the little girl getting her Black Widow pencils. Thank you, Lynn. That was so much fun. For those of you who haven't seen it, I think it's the last video that I have posted on my YouTube channel, and it's about me and Tech delivering a Black Widow pencils to our winner from the last show, our giveaway winner. And the little girl, Avery, is an amazing Black Widow colorist. It's her first Black Widow set, and she got 2 skin tone sets. And it's adorable. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out. It's so cool. It brought smiles to everyone's faces, made so many people happy to see that little girl. And just the joy of getting these pencils and coloring with them, and her showing off all her other colorings. She is such a sweetheart, and she posts her work in the community sometimes too. She's really good. She was with us during the last product review that I did of Polychromos Faber-Castells, and she was coloring along with me on the same page, and then she posted her work in the Tom community. It was amazing. She has a lot of fans actually in my community. She's wonderful. If you're watching, hello Avery, and hello Crystal, and hello Wyatt. Wyatt is very shy. But one day we'll see some of Wyatt's coloring as well. Yes, that was a great video. Yeah, so much fun. So much fun. Okay. Again, not to lecture or anything. But it's really hard for me not to lecture. But notice what I'm doing right now. I'm doing something very unusual. I'm using a very bright, vibrant red, like a solid red, over my really bright and vibrant solid green. Now, who would do such a thing? Why am I doing it? It's weird. Like red over green, what does that accomplish? Well, it's an interesting trick. And what I'm doing here is I want to make some parts of the dress a little bit darker. And normally I would go with a deep blue or a deep brown or a deep indigo or even solid black over the green to really tone it down and bring down the shade of that color by adding black to it. But in this case, because red is already such a prominent color on this page, and we have the red dress, and the full body shot is a shot of her on stage during this rock concert where she has all sorts of flashing lights around her, blue and green and red and yellow and all sorts of different lights, that I decided to instead add red right over green to do two things. First, introduce a little bit of that red accent to the dress on the parts of the green dress that's lighter. And second, to make the dark parts of the green even darker. So I am essentially dropping the shade of the green, but instead of using black, I'm using red. So I'm breaking all the rules here. That's not how a shade of a color is dropped, but it's interesting. It's a little bit more dynamic. It's a little bit more artistic. And it certainly did the trick. It made that green much darker, but also gave it that body of a really unusual color. So try that. If you're coloring along with me, if you're watching a recording of this and you're actually following along with me, that red over green trick is very interesting. Now, the face here was tricky because I'm not actually using skin tones. I want her whole body to be lit by this green light. So even the white part of her hair is actually solid green because it's lit by these neon stage lights. So everything had to be green to begin with, and then I can add a little bit of the skin tones in there to show that she's not actually green, that it's just part of the lighting, the mood lighting. Good morning, people. Sam is here. Sam, welcome to the show. It's early in Australia. I'm so glad to see you. What do you think of my green dress? I've been getting a lot of compliments on it. And you know what's coming. I know you saw the final coloring posted on Facebook and Instagram, so you know that the color that's coming is your favorite, Chartreuse. Green and Chartreuse in the same coloring. Who would have thunk? Morning, Sam. Everyone's saying good morning to Sam. Yumi and a dog traveling Australia. That's Sam. So glad to see you. And hello to Max. I know Max can't actually hear, but please forward my hello to Max in the form of a dog hug or a squeeze or a scratch. Amazing, says Sam. Thank you. I'm not going to go as far as saying that I enjoyed coloring all this green, but I am very, very much impressed with these pencils. What is it, honey? What is it? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Shh, Mommy's doing a live show. Be quiet, please. She doesn't know what a live show is. Okay, looks like I'm going to spend the rest of the show scratching a dog with my left hand. She's getting a little bit restless and she wants me to come out and play with her. But it's too hot, honey. It's still too hot. It's like 4 in the afternoon, 3:30. It's the hottest part of the day here. So no, we're not going outside to play, but you can go to your place. 1 second, you guys. Come on, honey, go to your place. Go to your place. Come. Go to your place. Good girl. Good girl. Here you go. Good girl. She's good. She's in her place. All right, I'm back. Here it comes, the Chartreuse, as I promised, for you, Sam, especially. Now, this Chartreuse is not really Chartreuse. It looks Chartreuse, but it's not. I think it's like salad green or leaf green or something. Apple green, brilliant green, yellowish green, fresh green. It's one of those on the green chart. So it's not actually called Chartreuse, but it is actually Chartreuse. Like, the color speaks for itself. It's this really vibrant neon yellowish green, very strong, makes a very strong impression. I would never paint anything in my room this color or wear anything this color, but it looks pretty stunning on the page. I can't argue with that. That color is so strong. Apple green, I think, says Lynn. Apple green sounds familiar. Yeah, because it's a very delicious name. Apple green makes me think of like the sour green gummy candies, which I love, and actual green apples, which I also love. Speaking of green apples, there's a really cool design in my shop that I just put up a few days ago. That's my Snow White coloring, where she has the big green poison apple and she's holding a bottle of green apple cider in her hand. So that's up in the shop. If you guys want to get some fun t-shirts and stuff like that, swing by and check it out. I am waiting for mine to arrive. I just ordered that design for myself. But it didn't get here in time for the show, so I can't show it to you live. But if you follow the link in the video description, you can go to the shop and see all the cool stuff that I have in there. So there it is, that apple green. I'm going to keep calling it apple green because I think you're right, Lynn. I think that's what it is. I think the pencil is called apple green. But it is indeed, to me, it looks very much Chartreuse. And that's the color that I was going for with this color splash on the background, and also to enhance the dress itself. Again, I was looking for this glowing kind of an effect because she's on stage. She's a rock star. She glows. She really needs that smashing super green to make her stand out and look all rebellious and amazing. And these pencils absolutely did the job. Notice also that on this green splash or Chartreuse splash of color in the background, I didn't prime it. Normally, for a color this light and this vibrant, I would prime the page with white charcoal or a white pencil to make sure that the full intensity of the color comes out. And by now, I was so confident in the intensity of these pencils that I didn't even bother priming the page, and the color is pure. Now, that's saying a lot, you guys. That right there is a true test of how amazing the quality of these pencils is. And as we talked about in the beginning of the show, this brand, Shuttle Art, a lot of people are actually put off by the price because it's too low. A lot of us thought that these were crappy, cheap, poor quality pencils because they are beyond affordable. They just appear kind of cheap. And many of us who are professional colorists and artists just do not give these pencils a chance because we think that they're a gimmick or a cheap Chinese knockoff. And that couldn't be further from the truth. My experience with these pencils is that they are indeed professional artist quality lead and colors. It's just that they are not in the best quality wood, which apparently allows you to drop the price quite significantly. But for me, that's not enough to stop using them. Like, just because the wood is really it's really crappy is my only way to describe it. Like, it's so easy to chip and break when you're sharpening your pencil. And if I didn't have a workaround that, then yes, I wouldn't continue using these pencils. I would say that's annoying. That's annoying enough that I can't professionally and reliably use these pencils. However, using them in an electric sharpener, no problem. Because I have an electric sharpener and I can just sharpen them without that crappy wood getting in my way of my work. These pencils get my thumbs up and get my recommendation, and they now belong in my influencer shop on Amazon, where I recommend them to beginner and intermediate level colorists and artists. They absolutely passed the Lisa test. Very cool design. The t-shirt design, the Snow White design, and Alice too. I have one. I love it. Thank you, Stacy. I think I saw a post of that in the community. That came out nice. The way the prints come out in my shop, I am really impressed with how they come out. You guys know my art is so detailed, and all the little details come out so beautifully. And the other thing that I'm really impressed with is the quality. I made a bunch of stuff for me and Tech that's not up in the shop. But I have my Pennywise hoodie for our one-wheeling adventures. And so this design is just for us, but I have other designs on these hoodies, and they're so soft. This is literally the softest hoodie that I've ever owned in my entire life. I live in this thing. It's so cool. So it's not just that you can get cool prints. You can actually get really cool, high quality clothing, which is amazing. I am impressed with my own shop. I'm so humble. Oh my god, there's like a stampede of dogs coming in here. Okay, there's a question from Ghislaine about the pencils. Are these more waxy or more oily? Sorry if I missed the beginning of the stream. No worries. Welcome to the show. I hope you rewatch the beginning of the stream at your leisure later on today or tomorrow. They are neither waxy nor oily, but not scratchy either. I wish there was a scale. I should probably come up with one myself so that we can all reference it on the scale of waxiness or oiliness. If you're familiar with Black Widow pencils, those are actually wax pencils. They're not quite as waxy. They don't feel that waxy, but they're not as I don't actually know any brand that's like super harsh and scratchy on the page. They're definitely not harsh and scratchy, but they're not waxy and oily either. They're a little bit more difficult to work with than Black Widow pencils. I won't lie about it. There's a little bit more effort that goes into the amount of work that you need to put into it, the amount of attention that you need to put into your shading. This would be a lot easier, noticeably easier to do with Prismacolors, polychromos, or Black Widows. Absolutely, hands-on, that would be much easier. But not dramatically enough that I would tell you guys not to use this brand. I think it's a very friendly brand still. It's most certainly a very affordable brand, and I think the intensity of the color really makes up for all the shortcomings that this brand has. Especially like if you are a colorist who really loves color, who really loves vibrant color, get this brand and deal with the crappy wood. Just get an electric sharpener. The color is absolutely 100% worth it. Like, I'm doing it again. I'm adding this bright pink, like a light bubblegum pink, right on the gray paper. I didn't prime it with white. This is straight onto gray paper, and it's coming out in its pure, bright neon form. That's really rare. Like, that's as good, if not better, than Prismacolor in terms of pigment. That's really impressive. So yeah, for those of you who like really outrageously bright colors, this is a must. And not all the colors here are outrageously bright. There's a whole range. Here's my chart again that I spent 6 hours on. Like I promised I'd be showing it to you the entire time. There's a whole spectrum of colors here that are skin tone colors and different blues and violets, and I can't even fit this whole thing onto the screen. something like this. But there are peaches and pinks and very pale cream colors. The white is actually a really good white. There are different browns, there are lilacs. So not everything is like bright Tokyo lights, neon colors, not at all. But there are a lot of those colors in there. So if you are a colorist who really likes to show off the bright colors, most definitely get this box. Stacy, I used to have polys, but I gave them away. I didn't like them. Oh, interesting. Someone who didn't like polys. I did a show on polys a couple of weeks ago, Ghislaine, if you want to check that out, to see how I felt about polys and the kind of work that I was able to do with them. I actually really enjoyed them. But, you know, we are all so different. We each have our own preferences, and we've each developed our way of working and coloring. And, you know, there are things that we like that we just will always like them. For instance, for me, if working with skin tones, if this was a full-on portrait, just the face, I would not choose this brand to do it in. I would absolutely do it with Black Widow pencils. I would not teach a skin tone course with these pencils. I would choose Black Widows or Prismacolors for that. And in fact, I have. My skin tone course is done entirely in Black Widow pencils. But for stuff like this, really theatrical, really dramatic, very colorful, crystals, gemstones, fruit, vegetables, all that stuff I would absolutely do and teach with these pencils. So consider that as well. It's not that one brand of pencils can serve all of your needs, nor should it. It's like clothing. You don't just get a pair of pants and a t-shirt and like 100 copies of it and wear nothing else. Like, we have different things for different occasions. We have evening dresses and nightgowns and jeans and pants and sneakers and high heel shoes, or at least I'm speaking to the ladies here. We all have different outfits, not just for different occasions, but also for different moods. Sometimes I feel like wearing my silk robe in the evening, and sometimes I feel like wearing my biggest, fuzziest hoodie and just curling up with it on the couch. It's a mood thing and it's a feeling thing. So for some things, it may have been a bad day when you tried polychromos. It may have been the wrong type of coloring that you tried it on. It may have been the wrong type of paper. So before you decide whether you like something or not, I would try different variables. Try changing out certain things. Like for me, I clearly see that I'm going to use these pencils a lot for much of my Halloween coloring. That will be very theatrical. A lot of my steampunk stuff will be done with this. But I will not do it for my darker gothic stuff. I will go with Prismas, Polys, and Black Widows for that. And for more painter-like portraits, I would also go with my more expensive sets of pencils, like Black Widows and Prismacolors. So consider that as well. No one box of pencils will serve all of your needs. Every single thing that I review, like even my favorite brands, there's always something that I don't like as much in that brand as I like in some other brands. That's perfectly normal, because I'm human, because I have things that are so specific to me that may be completely different for you. For instance, with Black Widows, I like how waxy they are, but some people genuinely don't like that. Very few people, but most people actually really enjoy Black Widows. But there are people who are very specific about how the pencil feels on the page, and they just don't like it. They get totally creeped out by the waxy pencil tips, and the other way around. Like for me, this is borderline not waxy enough, but borderline. If it was a little bit harsher, I wouldn't enjoy coloring with them so much. But it was just on the cutoff point of what I could handle for my coloring. But it passed. It absolutely passed my test. I do recommend these pencils. 180 pencils. Yes, this is a 180 pencil set. This is huge. And again, if you guys missed the intro, please, after the show ends, watch the intro. It's like a minute long, and it shows me actually pulling the pencils out of the box. And this is what happened to me in real life. When I got the box, I just kept pulling them out, and I keep calling it the bottomless box because they just kept coming out. There were so many pencils. It's astonishing. There's every single pencil imaginable here. Okay, can I do it again? Can I do it again? My pride and joy, the thing that I'm proud of more than the coloring of Cruella. My color chart that I'm never going to use, but I spent like 6 hours on. I have to put it to a good use. All right. Oh, you said that summary perfectly. They are my muckabout experimental pencils. Well said. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. That's a lot of pencils. Yeah, 180 for a single box is a lot, and for less than $40, you guys. That's the whole point. Like remember the name of the show is How Much Should You Spend on Pencils? I would always recommend that you buy the highest possible quality tools to work with for the highest quality result. However, I also say that the tools don't make the art. You make the art. I also say that you can work with any material out there. You can make great art with the crappiest tools imaginable, but it's going to be difficult. So there's this whole scale that you have to find your place on. where do you belong on that scale? How much money are you willing to spend on high quality tools, and how much of the work do you expect the tools to do for you? Me, I learned to draw before I learned that tools exist. I learned to draw in a cave with a single pencil. We didn't have tools. I was just using my mom's graphic supplies from her desk of supplies, and I just started drawing, and then she would start gathering materials for me. So I didn't have the luxury of picking my pencils. I just learned to make art, and I continued to make art my whole life. And only now, when I'm an adult in my late 30s, that I'm being introduced to all these amazing supplies. Like, I've never heard of this brand until 2 weeks ago. I've never worked with polychromos until 4 weeks ago, and yet I've been an artist my entire life. Like, art is separate from art tools. But now that I am a professional artist, having these amazing tools is extremely important, because now it's like I've earned them. Get your skills up and upgrade your tools along the way. If you're a complete beginner to coloring, maybe don't invest into every single Black Widow set plus the full Prismacolor set. They're not going to do the work for you. They're cool to have. It's certainly great to learn on high quality tools, but they don't need to be the most expensive tools. This, Shuttle Art, is an excellent alternative. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, if you don't have a huge budget for your coloring hobby. I mean, hobbies cost money. Like, every hobby, no matter what it is going to cost you more than a shiny penny, because it's a hobby. You keep doing it over and over again. You get into it. You have to have the things to work with. So, if you're on a budget, this is an absolutely great brand to still get amazing results. These pencils won't set you back. If you're already a professional artist, they won't set you back on your quality. I'm a professional artist. I had no problem making this amazing art. I am genuinely proud of this page. It came out beautifully. Very happy with it. It's exactly how I envisioned it. And if these pencils weren't good quality pencils, that would be very difficult to accomplish. So yes, it looks like I'm finished. Ta-da! Let me give you one final review of this. I'll take final questions before I let you guys go. And then I think I have a date with a very excited dog who's still hunting me out here. You said you were an adult. Adult. Okay, maybe not mentally an adult, but I do have a lot of years of drawing and coloring behind my belt, so it counts for something. I laminate mine and use them all the time. Okay, I remember I used to be in a coloring group with you years ago. Is that so? Which one? At the time, you had made the Queen of Hearts. That was my first skin coloring ages ago. The Queen of Hearts was my very first coloring page ever. Wow, that's so cool. Well, if you're not in my private community yet, you must join. The link is in the video description below. I'll see you there after the show. We must talk. You're like a total blast from the past. My very first coloring page, that Queen page, that was Tech's idea, by the way. He's like, you should do playing cards as coloring pages. So the entire book, The Four Realms, I owe that idea to him. I put mine in a notebook. I started with Castle Arts. Castle Arts, Isolina, is the next product review that I'll be doing. Someone just sent me a whole big, beautiful box of Castle Arts, and that will be the next product review, probably in about 3-ish weeks. And as you guys all voted on it, I'll be doing it on the steampunk coloring page. That Tech guy, he's genius. He do be that. All right, so really quickly to wrap it up, Shuttle Art, first of all, thank you so much, Indigo Grumbles, for sending me this box of beautiful pencils. I love it. If any of you wish to send me anything, the link is in the video description. I'll make some art and we'll talk about it. And it's going to be awesome, just like this show. Second of all, did this pass the Lisa test? Yes, it did. I will recommend these pencils. I put them in my Amazon list of stuff that I actually approve and recommend. So that's all in the video description as well. If you want to buy them, follow my link, get these pencils, give them a shot. Are they 100% on par with the highest quality pencils that I use? No, they are not. I will still choose Black Widow pencils, Prismacolors, and Polychromos over this for most stuff that I do professionally, especially skin tones. However, for bright and theatrical stuff like this, Halloween stuff, glowing pumpkins, Mark, your favorite, I would recommend this, and I will actually be using these quite a bit come Halloween. So, oh, thank you. Yes, that's the shipping address. Thank you, Jessica. So yes, for me, this stays in my collection. This earned its place in my toolbox. I will continue using this brand, and I really enjoyed creating this coloring. Price-wise, they're super affordable, but not cheap. That's what we talked about during the show. There's cheap and crappy, and there's affordable and good. This is actually really good quality pencils that happen to be so affordable that a lot of us were afraid of buying them because we thought they were going to be crappy. So I'm so glad I got a chance to try them and figure out on my own that they are actually high quality, amazing pencils. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We never talked about the page. This page is available in my Etsy shop. Link in the video description. It's also a free gift to all of my patrons. You do not need this page to follow along with me to color something amazing. Color anything that you want. Just color and have fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join me in my private community. Hug a dog, because that always makes your day better no matter where you are. And I'll see you guys. Well, I'll see my patrons this weekend for our private show, but I'll see the rest of you in a few weeks when I'll be doing a live review of castle arts that someone sent me. So let's figure out a nice, graceful way to end the show. There you go. Very, very graceful, the palm of my hand. No? But then I don't have a hand to press the button, so how do people do it? I don't know. I'm just going to try to find a way to end it. Bye.